Okay. So yes, like I said, every time share these stories, it's like new to me because I'm still not over it. What God did for me. I just got saved 4 years ago, and prior to that, I lived a life apart from God, and it was such a rubbish life. I was addicted to drugs, I was addicted to porn, I was addicted to masturbation and sex too. And it all started when I saw my aunties watching porn when I was a little child. So it just like it's made my body feel a certain way, and I like the way my body feels. So I started looking for ways to get that feeling back. So we started with porn, then masturbation. By the time I entered secondary school, I'd had sex already before then, and then continued with sex. And then the thing about perversion is the deeper it gets, the worse it gets. The deeper you enter into it, the worse off it is. You discover more perverted things to do. So from porn, sex, masturbation, like diverting to drugs. Right? I was trying to get that feeling. Do you understand? So I started with weed. From weed, I went to cocaine. So one of the reasons why I schooled in Ghana for my university. So the reason why I went to Ghana to school for my university was I had heard that the hostels are co-ed, meaning your next door neighbor can be a girl, and that's the hostel. So, and I heard Ghanaian girls like Nigerian guys, and they're free and stuff. So I was like, okay, no. So I walked. I actually went to Wright Convenant University. I passed it, and that time they'll send you a letter in the mail, not email, like mail this thing. So they sent the letter, but then I didn't show them because I actually wanted to go to Convenant. I wanted to go to Ghana. So I hid the letter, and then I went to Ghana, and I believe that's where like I actually gorged on the perversion fully, right? Because this thing about freedom, where if you don't control your freedom as much as you're meant to, you would feel like you have control over your time, over your how far. There are no restrictions. When you're at home, there's a time you have to come home. You can't be high when you come home. You can't get high sometimes. You can't have sex because it's your mother's house. But then I'm in Ghana. I have my own house. Do you understand? I have my own time. So that's where everything just went away. Like the sex was like I had to have sex at least twice a week. Masturbation was every day. Porn was every day too. And then weed was constantly also. The cocaine, because it was more expensive, was not as constant, but it was there. Sometimes I had to steal to keep up with the cocaine addiction because it's quite expensive. So all of that was going on, and I was just in this place where I was going deeper and deeper into it, deeper and deeper into the perversion and everything, and lust had taken a hold of my heart so much. So I had a girlfriend then, and she lived with me, and then because she lived with me, we were having sex actually, and then she got pregnant. So I was able to cunningly convince her to abort the child because as somebody who is not in Christ, you're the most selfish person ever. You're thinking about just yourself. So it was not a question to me if I should abort the child or not. But I can remember feeling scared that, okay, I'm actually killing a child, but it's like, well, whatever. It's better for the child to die than for me to have a quote-unquote stain on me, because all these things I was doing, I hid them from my family. They did not know. So to my family, I was like the star boy. I was the good boy. I got really good grades in school too. So I was a good boy. And I kept that up because I wanted them to still be funding my lifestyle. So they were actually funding it well. Like they didn't know that's what they were funding. But because I had good grades and I was keeping up this good boy facade, they were sending me a lot of money. So I was keeping up. And I was also working in Ghana too for a Ghanaian musician as his manager. So that music lifestyle, you understand, the models, the hotels, the travels, the weed, the drugs and stuff. So the guy I married, he actually did not do drugs, but he drank a lot. But everybody else around, the models for the music video shoots, the parties, the album launches, all those things. So that life, it actually did foster it. So like I actually went deeper into the sex and drug stuff, like having threesomes, having one night stands and stuff. So it was just a very dark period. And the funny thing is that those things, they promise you a certain satisfaction. They promise a certain satisfaction, a certain feeling, but you never get it. But it still promises it, and you keep going back for it. Do you understand? You feel like, okay, maybe I didn't do it right. Do you understand? Maybe there's something else I need to do. Maybe there's something else I need to add. Maybe I was too distracted. So you keep trying to lie to yourself, believing the lie of the devil, and you keep going deeper into it. So I went deeper into it, and then all this while I was still toying with the idea of Christianity. Do you understand? I was still associating. If you put on a sheet what religion, Christianity, Islam, other or tradition, I'll put Christianity. Do you understand? I'm still toying with the idea because I'm in Christian home. But then the point where I deflected straight away from Christianity and actually became an atheist was at the abortion clinic. Now, so after convincing her and everything on the way to the abortion clinic, I was so scared because I was like, I'm killing a child and I'm in Ghana. And if anything happens to her, it's my head. She's a Nigerian too. Her parents know that she lives with me. Her friends, they know that she lives with me. Our neighbors know that she's with me and stuff like that. So, and Ghanaian jails are not funny for Nigerians also. So I was just so scared and stuff. And also the worst one was the thought of killing a child. It was still nagging in my back of my head. So we went to the abortion clinic. She went into the abortion, and I was so scared. My teeth were actually chattering like I had fever or something. And the major fear was, okay, I'm killing a child. That's the major fear. Every other thing was preliminary. And then I just felt, okay, why do I feel this way? I feel this way because I know this. I believe there's a God, even though I don't believe in it. Maybe there's a God, and definitely I'm doing the worst thing I could ever do. So I actually have to stand in judgment before him, and I don't feel like I would actually go to hell. So how do I get this fear away? So I was like, okay, if I convince myself that there's no God, right, then I won't have to stand in front of anybody. Maybe those people that say there's no God, they actually have it's actually true. Do you understand? So from that moment, that's when I started working on my heart and everything. So I started watching movies, watching stuff on YouTube about atheism and all of that. So that's where I delved into that. And then as I delved into that, my addictions and everything got worse and worse and worse and worse. So I finished school, graduated with the first class, and then came home. And then in Ghana, when you graduate, you have to wait for 1 year for the graduation ceremony and for them to give you your certificate and everything. So I couldn't do NYC and stuff. So during that 1 year, I was working with my sister in her studio. She had like a photo studio and everything. So I was working with her in the studio. And I was still with all my addictions, everything. I came back to Nigeria, found out where I could get weed, cocaine, found out all those things, entered into circles that had all those things with them and all of that. So that was my lifestyle. And then I came back, but it was kind of restricted because I lived in my family. I lived in my family home, so it was kind of restricted. So when you now come back for graduation, so I planned to spend at least 2 weeks in Ghana. So I left before my graduation, and then went to Ghana. And then those 2 weeks, like I just gorged on everything, like masturbation, and I was just sleeping with different girls, like day in, day out and stuff. And then it just like after on the plane coming back home to Nigeria, I just started thinking about my entire life. Because what's like that kind of lifestyle, it kind of segments your mind. It's like the depression and the suicidal thoughts, there's so much. That kind of lifestyle. So on the plane coming back, I just felt so. I felt like a dirty rat. I felt so dirty. You get. So I was trying to think about what I can do. I didn't want to be around my family. I didn't want to be around anyone because I thought I actually felt my addictions had gotten out of hand when I went back to Ghana. So coming back, there was no way I would be able to hide it from my family. So I didn't want to be at home. I got posted on the plane coming back. I realized I got posted to Taraba for NYC. So my family were trying to work it out for me to get back posted to Nigeria, posted back to Abuja, still in Abuja, but I gave the wrong call-up number, so I just wanted to disappear. And my idea was, when I go for NYC, I won't come back again. I'll just stay wherever I am. And just because I don't want anybody to see my lifestyle and stuff. So I got posted to Taraba, and it was just a very awful time because my phone that had all the porn on it spoiled. I couldn't find weed, I couldn't find cocaine. So it was just a very difficult time. So I was still masturbating. I was trying to set up somebody that I'll be having sex with in camp. But then God had other plans. I met somebody, and how I met her was through a friend. So I had this friend who was in the US who used to do Skype sex together. And until I was posted to Taraba, she said, one of our classmates in secondary school classmates said they posted to Taraba too. Do I want to link up with her so at least I have someone to talk to and stuff? Like, no problem, that's fine. So I won't be alone time. So she linked me up with this girl, and that was the first dent in the devil's plan for my life, because this girl I was hooked up to, she loved God. Like, for the first time, I could see somebody who had a relationship with God. I'd never seen that before in my life. Not this boss employee kind, but father daughter, this kind of loving relationship, and very real. So I used to like it was so curious. Like, I was curious. It was not like she needed my validation to validate her belief in God. Like, she didn't need me to believe in God for her to believe in God. I don't know if you understand. Like, she knew God was real, and people's opinion did not matter. So I saw that and I was like, So it was so, like, it was interesting to me, intriguing. So I spent a lot of my time with her. And so my plan to look for somebody to have sex with was thwarted because I spent a lot of time with her. So she spoke to me about God, about her ideals, how, we're not meant to have sex until marriage. It's like, that's very archaic. What do you mean you're meant to have sex until marriage? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not true. And stuff. But all those her ideals and stuff stemmed from her relationship with God. I could see her life was so bright. It was so bright. It was different from mine. And I wanted that. Right? So when we left camp, she promised that she would send me some books, some Christian books. So after, when I came back home, she sent them for like a Christmas gift. And I read them. And I saw the reason why she was living the way she was living, because of her belief in God and her relationship with God. So I was like, I want something like that. So aside from reading those books, my sister had a book on a shelf called Good Morning, Holy Spirit. Right? So, and I read the first chapter and I wanted what he had. It's the same thing this girl I met in camp had. A relationship with God, and it was just so glorious the way I saw it. So I wanted that. But then I had tried, like I said, I had tried everything to stop my addictions and it didn't work. So I was like, if I try God and it doesn't work, no problem. I'm just going to end my life because I can't continue like this. So it was like a last resort. I had come to the end of myself. I was frustrated, I was tired and everything. So on January 16th, 2017, around 4 a.m., I knelt down beside my bed. I was just like, Lord, I'm sorry I've neglected you for so long. I'm sorry I insulted you. I'm sorry I said that you do not exist. Please, I need your help. So in my heart of hearts, I felt I wasn't worthy to become a son of God, or a child of God. All the things that I've done, right? So I wasn't asking for that. For me, that was a very huge ask for me to ask to become a child of God. But all I wanted was for him to help me with my addictions. Do you understand? I just felt, if I can't become your child, I know I can't. I don't have any problem with that. No problem. Just help me with this addiction, because I can't go on living like this. I'm tired. And then that's what I said in prayer. And then I felt like crying, but I went to military school, secondary military school, and in just one, they flog the cry out of you. Do you understand? So I just felt it was not the manly thing to cry. So I was kneeling down, I sat down back, and then almost immediately, I knew something had changed. This is coming from someone who did not believe in God. Right? Something had changed in the room. When I was crying, I felt a presence. And then when I sat down back, it was as if that presence had left or something. To me, then I thought I had annoyed the presence or something, and I was angry and he left. So I started saying, please don't go. I was crying, saying, please don't go. I was crying, please don't go. And then boom, I get like a vision of every time that I had sex, watched porn, masturbated, done drugs, everything. I don't know if you've watched a movie and then maybe the person is dying and the person has like a flash of their life in front of their eyes. That's how it was for me. Every time I saw it like a flash, all the sin had committed, everything. And then a particular part became slow motion. That was when I was in the abortion clinic. And then I heard the Lord say, I was with you through all these times. And I heard it not only in my ears, but it was like it resonated within my entire being. Like it wasn't loud, but it was powerful. As it was powerful, it was also smooth. I really don't know how to explain it. It's like a quiet whisper, but had power. I really don't know how to explain it because it was just so amazing. Anyway, so I heard him say, I will shoot through all these times. And immediately I knew I thought one or two things will happen. I knew that for a fact, I will see the visions again, and I will see the person that told me I will shoot through all this time, I will see him in every time. And I didn't want that to happen because of two things. I thought when he sees all of that, he will say, because of all these things you've done, and I was there and you did it. Like, you can't lie to me that you not do it. So because of all these things, I can't help you, you can't be mine. Or because the idea, the knowledge that the person who said I was with you through all these times was God, and God is holy. Like, I knew he was holy, I knew he was righteous. Do you understand? I just knew. You get? So knowing that he was righteous and holy made me not want somebody who's that righteous and holy to be in the presence when I was doing all those things. Do you understand? So me, I felt because he was there and I did all those things, he would kill me. And he'll be just for killing me. Because I felt so sinful and I knew he was so righteous and holy and stuff. So I didn't want the vision to happen. I stood up from my bed. I opened my eyes, tried to pierce the floor, but it still happened. I still saw the vision again. So this time I saw the same vision, the same times, all times I was doing all those things. But this time I saw a physical representation of the Lord in the form of light. Pulsing light. Just light. At every time I was doing all those things. Now, it now became slow motion to the exact point again, the abortion clinic. So you remember I said I thought he was going to kill me. So I said, okay, this is where I was going to die. And I was actually wailing, I was crying. I kept on saying, I didn't know you were there. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were there. And then in the abortion clinic vision, I saw, because I remember I told you I was very scared, and then I calmed down. So me, I thought it was my heart that was hardening that made me calm down. But then in the vision, I saw a strand of light leave the orb of light and then touch my heart. So that's what calmed me. And it did not make any sense because I'm like, in this moment where I thought I did the worst thing to you, why are you there not angry, not raging, not trying to tear me to pieces, not having a accusatory tone? Like you were trying to help me in that moment. In fact, you're the one that helped me calm my heart down. Like it made no sense to me. And I actually broke down crying. It was just not, like, you need to understand how that part was pivotal in my entire story, because from that moment, because I came back to Nigeria, living in Nigeria home, as long as you're in that house and they're going to church, you have to go to church, it's by force. So I was going to church and then I will hear them when they are worshiping, lifting holy hands and stuff. I want to get up and worship. But then they will be like, what are you doing? You have blood on your hands, sit down. So I'll sit down back and not do anything. So now when I'm in church and I see people who are sitting down, I don't know what's going on. Do you understand? I actually don't know what's going on. But that was what, so I was not participating in anything because I felt I'm not worthy to participate in anything. So what am I doing? And the devil made sure he reminded me every time. Every time I needed something and I felt like, okay, maybe I should pray. Maybe he will hear. He'll be like, he will never hear you. You've killed the child. What are you doing? You have blood on your hands anyway. So that's why it was so mind-blowing for me to see that in that moment that defined the course of my life, he was actually there showing me love, right? And I don't know how to explain this, but it's like I saw in his eyes, and every time I was doing all those things and I saw the form of light, I didn't see his eyes, but like I saw his eyes. I don't know how to explain it. And in his eyes, I could see he wasn't angry, disgusted, or trying to kill me. It's like his eyes were telling me the satisfaction you're looking for in all these things is found in me. So you're looking for satisfaction in all these things. This is where you're meant to be. This is me you're looking for. Come to me. The true satisfaction is in me.
Hey guys, the purpose of this video was never to make you grateful that other people are getting free from their addiction. No. The purpose was for you to seek help. So there's a link in the description below for those of you in addiction. We are going to be having a meeting that's going to be life-changing and will help you get free. So thank you.